सहनरा भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै. சொல்லுங்க.
வெங்கட் ஜி போஸ்ட் பண்றீங்களா?
Clarification. Higher can only bless the lower. What was said last week? Okay. Reference. No parents will wish bad for their children. Correct. We see aged parents wonder on why their children abroad don't realize their duty to take care of them during their old age. Aged parents are helplessly pushed to elder care homes. In such instances, how is the higher blessing the lower? In this specific scenario that we are facing now, they express their, they will express their loneliness or frustration. But they will never ever think in terms of let them lose their jobs, let them go bankrupt, let them suffer. They will not say. You follow what I'm saying? The clarification is the aged parents in the modern day context are disappointed with their children being abroad and not taking care of them. So how are they blessing? For which the answer is yes. They will feel lonely. They will feel frustrated. They will feel lonely. They will be in pain, but they will never wish bad for them. They will never wish bad in the sense of saying, let them lose their jobs, let them suffer, let them go bankrupt. Those kind of curses will never happen. But they will feel, but they feel that, but they will experience that pain. That is understand. Because they are not yet become, they are a very good, relatively unselfish parent. They have not yet become selfless. They have not moved from the Grihastha ashrama at all to the Vanaprastha and Sannyasa ashrama. Therefore, they feel all this. They should have factually they should have moved on to Grihastha from Grihastha ashrama to Vanaprastha and Sannyasa. They should have moved. The children moved. The parents refused to move. But still the principle remains the same. What? They will not wish bad. You follow what I'm saying? Still the principle remains the same. They will not wish bad. Yeah, they'll feel frustrated. They'll feel lonely. And most of the times you can't blame the children also, isn't it? We can't blame the children also. Why? Especially in the last 100 years. I'm talking about especially in the last 100 years. Life was about duty. Duty to family, duty to faith, duty to land, duty to the dead. Every facet of life was seen as duty. Life was revolving mainly around duty-based obligations. Life was seen like that. What happened in the last 100 years? We have started to measure life based on duty is no more meaningful. Who cares about duty? In the classes, we keep talking duty, duty, duty. Before the class, after the class, it boils down to money. That's all. In the classroom, it's about duty. Before the class, it's about money. After the class, it's about money. You follow what I'm saying? So when the society is trained like that, instead of training the society on duties and responsibilities and values, they are trained to make wealth at any cost. We don't teach them to go and steal. We don't teach them all the wrong things. Everybody goes back thinking, no, sir, we didn't teach like that. We only told them they should study well, they should earn well, they should study well, they should earn well, isn't it? What was the training? Education equals earning. It's a flaw. Now, all those who have been party to this kind of teaching will pay the price, whether it is parents or children. You follow what I'm saying? All those who are party to this kind of teaching will pay the price. What is the price? Education equals education is not to teach other thing. Education is to earn. Earn first. அதெல்லாம் சம்பாரிச்சுடலாம் சார். மிச்சதெல்லாம் அப்புறம் பார்க்கலாம். First, let us do that. The rest of it we'll see later. You follow what I'm saying? I always say this. Not a single person says, if you don't study well, you won't become a better human being. If you don't study well, you will not get a job, you will not make money. Has any parent ever told their children that if you don't study well, you will not become a better human being? Has any parent told that? No parents will say that, because in their head itself is very clear. Education is for their head itself. It's very, very clear. Now you go to the school. The schools are told to do what? The schools are told to educate them on money making. So right through, when they do that, what will they naturally do? That becomes a priority. Now, when that becomes a priority, naturally what will happen? Having trained them like that, wherever there is money, they will go. See, only one sect should do that. Even it's not that in the past people were not going all around. Even in the past also people were going all around. But except that one sect of Vaishya, rest will not go. Today everybody is going everywhere. Yeah. You follow what I'm saying? It's not that trade wasn't happening. It's not that interchange of cultures wasn't. Everything was happening from the beginning, isn't it? They say the Romans and the Indians had trades. Ships was going. Everything was happening. What was the difference between them? What is the difference then and now? The difference is what was a duty to one became a general duty to everybody. You're able to follow. Then this kind of deterioration is what is expected. It's a duty for one. It's not a duty for everybody. It's a duty to one. Go around, explore new options, and keep making wealth is the duty of the one, what we call as the Vaishyas. Today, it has become the norm for everybody. In that sense, everybody is a party to it. And when they do it, we can't blame the children. That's what I'm trying to say. But again, out of their own affection or whatever it is, they will not wish them destruction. In that sense, they will still continue to bless. Every time I do this international travel, I keep repeating this. Look at the people in the internet. Who are the people who are traveling international? Have you ever seen a 30-year-old, 40-year-old international traveler? Or a 78-year-old international traveler? Who is more? Who's more? 30, 40-year-old traveling is more. 80, 70 and 80-year-old people should not be traveling like this, but they are traveling. You see in these countries, those immigration lines, you stand there and see the queue and how the people are battered when they come out of the flight and stand in the queue. 15 hours, 16 hours, long flights. For what? For what? It's a collective failure. You follow, Narayanji? But still the principle remains the same. In spite of all that, they will not curse. They will not curse. I was just a few minutes back, I was watching a video. One of my friends sent me the video. So, a boy, a man was determined to take care of the dying mother. So he was taking care of the dying mother right through, staying with her, everything. And it has been going on for a few months. Out of exhaustion, one day he slept. In the afternoon, he slept out of exhaustion. Half an hour later, he woke up and saw the mother dead. She's dead. And saw the mother, the dead mother lying next to her because they're in the same bed. So what he saw in the, what is that camera? What we have in the house? Some camera, no, we have. He wanted to see what the mother was doing in her last minutes because he wasn't there. He was fast asleep. He was wanting to see what the mother was doing last few minutes before her death. You know what she was doing? She pulled the blanket and tucked the man into the blanket and she died. Just as what she did maybe 40, 50 years back to that boy. No, 40, 50 years back, infant, no, how they tuck them inside the blanket. She did that and she died, and the video captured that frame. He woke up and she's still lying, and she woke up and like dead. Yeah. The higher can never curse. It becomes like a curse to they become like a pain, they become like a curse because Vriddhastavat Chintasaktaha is not understood. Balastavat Kridasaktaha is not understood. Tarunastavat Tarunisaktaha. Vajagovinda. Vriddhastavat Chintasaktaha. Yeah. What does that Vriddhastavat Chintasaktaha means? They'll go into a loop. Suddenly a thought will come to them. And that thought will become so obsessive to them till that is fulfilled, they cannot do anything. They'll become feverish. No reason, no logic, no nothing behind it. You can see the whole life has come one full circle. Just as when the child sees the toy, the thought goes into a loop and the child cannot get out of that loop. One way to make the child get out of the loop is what? One way. There is a way to help the child get out of the loop. What is the way? give the toy. Is that the way to get the child out of the loop? It will not, because it will become a habit. What will they do? They give one slap. No, sometimes they do to the old people also. I don't know. I don't know if somebody had a person like that in their house, they will know that they would necessarily have to do it a few times. I don't know. I think who had? Rajini, you had, no? Very difficult. Now, it is not an abuse of them. It's not an abuse, it's not anything. There is no other way it can be handled. But then doing it, they start feeling guilty after a while. All this is part and parcel of life. But one thing that will not happen is the principle will not change. What is the principle? The higher will never curse the lower. The fact that they are not cursing itself is a blessing. But they feel sad. They feel sad. They feel disappointed. Because of their sadness and disappointment, will children suffer because of their sadness and disappointment? It's a very vague area. We will never know. It's a very vague area. Vague area in the sense, when they are trained to do what they are doing and we expect them to function differently, it doesn't work that way, no? It's a vague area. That's what I'm saying. It's a vague area. Is it okay, Narayanji?
Okay.
Principle remains the same. They will never curse. They will never curse. We should accept the fact, supposing if I don't take Vanaprastha and Sannyasa and leave, we should be able to accept one fact and live in the Grihastha. What is the fact? Now it is their turn to parent me and I must be willing to get parented by them. Again, I repeat. Grihastha Ashrama, if I don't leave the Grihastha Ashrama, the children have grown now. They have grown to 30, 40 and all that. Now what will they do? Venkat. They will parent. Yeah, we just have to stay quiet and accept their parenting. There is no right, wrong parenting. There is no right and wrong, moral, immoral and all there. They will parent according to their understanding. They will parent according to their knowledge. They will parent according to their understanding, which we have to, which we need to accept. And I have seen very few adults having this maturity. They get very irritated. They get very frustrated. This is the cycle. You follow?
Follow.
Yeah. Next.
Yeah, no other questions, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, sir.
Then what do we do now?
Sir, we go in for that introductory
Okay.
for 6th chapter meditations. Yoga
Okay.
meditation.
Okay. Chapter 6, sir.
Yes, sir.
Chapter 6, okay. It's called Dhyana Yoga. One of the chapters of Bhagavad Gita where the idea of Bahiranga sadhana, Antaranga sadhana and all will be spoken about. As in the procedural details for meditation, what to do, all that he won't use these two terms, but that will be discussed little bit first. And then the process of dhyana also will be discussed. And then obstacles to meditation and yoga brashta. One of the very important discussion of chapter 6 is yoga brashta. Yoga brashta means one who has fallen from yoga, what happens? These are all the basic idea of this chapter. It is understood that we have done the initial preparation, and we have come. It is understood. When you all go through the verses in the presentation, I'm not going into the detailing of chapter 6 discussion. I'm saying I'm only going to talk about how you should study the verses and present. I'm going to talk from that angle. I'm not going to the discourse of what is chapter 6. You follow what I'm saying? I'm not going to the discourse of how this chapter, how it should be done. No, how to present, how to read the verses, make the summary, and do the presentation. In that sense, I will introduce chapter 6. For example, I will take up a verse. Some random verse I will take. Okay, I take random verse. We'll take the first verse itself. What is the first verse saying? What is the first verse of? Okay. We'll take this verse only. Beautiful verse. Anashrita karma palam karyam karma karotiyah sa sannyasi cha yogi cha na niragrihi na chakriyah. So this is the verse. Now there is the commentary that is there. There is a Swamiji's commentary that is there, and then there are elaborations of the chapter 6 also there, where we have studied in our weekly classes. Keep that as the reference point. The commentary and the classes, keep that as a reference point. But how you should read, don't straight away go into the commentary and the explanation that is given in the classroom. Don't get carried away by that first. Don't do that first. Then what should you do? There is the transliteration and then there is the translation. We have been doing this group discussions for how long now? Few years now. We started with Bhagavad Gita, or we started some other text? We started with Bhagavad Gita only, no? Okay. Now, how you should read? At the first level, it will be very difficult to read it in the way that I am saying. Now, how you should read? Read the transliteration first. And when you read the transliteration, you get an idea. And then you read the translation. You will notice some differences. Have you ever done that before? If you read the transliteration, there will be a meaning. And if you read the translation, there will be a meaning. Sometimes it will be
Different.
it will be different. Now make a note of that. Study that. What is the difference? Is it the language difference, or why is it so? So make a note of that first, and then see whether the difference is explained in the classroom. Make a note of that. That's how we go into the next level of serious study. That is one. Then you read the commentary and then try to get the gist of the commentary. And when you try to get the gist of the commentary, it is very important to stick to the rules. It is very important to stick to the rules. What are the rules? When you are answering, the number of minutes that everybody should take to answer. Similarly, when you are presenting a summary, the number of words that you should present in the summary. There has to be a general guideline to both. Yeah, here and there there will be variations. That is okay. But then when you are making the commentary, make that. What is that? Make it into a short summary. If something is not clear, listen to the classes that we have done and try to make it up. Listen to the classes. Now, do you have the Bhagavad Gita book with you all? Huh? I'll also get my book. And opening my book is the longest time it takes. Anashrita karma palam karyam karma karoti yaha sasannyasi cha yogi cha na niragnihi na chakriyaha. That is the correct. First you read the chapter summary itself is very clear. Yogi rises to Jnani, external and internal disciplines. That external and internal disciplines is what we call as, that external and internal disciplines is what we said as Antaranga Bahiranga Sadhana. Controlled mind remains peaceful. Meditation reveals self in one and all. Can a restless mind be controlled? That is Arjuna's question. And then Yogi unites with Brahman. In that in the last one, what is called as Yogi unites with Brahman, he asks this question. Even if he fails to attain realization, what will happen to him? Yoga Brashta. That's why I said Yoga Brashta is another important concept. That's why he said he'll be born in a family of wise yogis or dharmic, wealthy, wise yoga. All that comes in. Now read the transliteration I am reading now. Sri Bhagavan, the Blessed Lord, Vacha said, Anashritaha, without depending, karma palam, fruit of action, karyam, bound. You read that. When you read that, it will not be according to the English grammar. That's why the translation will write it according to the English grammar. Because if you take it straight, without depending, fruit of action, bound and duty, whose, ascetic, he, ascetic, yogi, without, now it will not make any sense. It will not make any sense because it makes sense as long as it is in the Sanskrit, it makes sense. That's why even in Sanskrit, we do the Anvaya to understand it. Now, that Anvayam is translated into English. That's why we call it as translation. So the Blessed Lord said, he who does his bounden duty without depending on the fruit of action He is a sannyasi and a yogi, not the one without fire and not the one without action. Before he actually goes into that, remember the previous chapters, 2-3 verses. It's not an isolated chapter. You should always remember Bhagavad Gita was a free conversation. The chapter breakup and all was not given by Lord Krishna in the original. If you go to the Mahabharata and read the original, it will be one flow. It's just one flow of 700 verses. There is no Idis Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Upanishads and all. So somebody in the later stages introduced this breakup. And it's a very meaningful breakup. We accept it. Now, what do we want to do with that? What we want to do with that is this. Just remember the last few verses to get to the connection. Don't take it isolated. If you go into the 10th, 11th verse, you need not remember the previous chapter. But when you are starting chapter 6, you should make, you need not make references in your summary. All this you need not have to bring it out in the summary. But before making the summary, you should study that also. Then the flow is, then the flow is understood. What is the flow? He who does his karyam karma. The word karyam is translated as bounden. Karyam itself means action. Karma itself means action. So what is it action? So the karyam here has a meaning. The karyam here has a meaning. What is it? That's how we infer. It's a, yeah, then you will get the joy of a thriller novel when you read these kind. When you learn when you read it like this. Yeah, look at the karyam means that. Karyam means have you done this karyam? Means have you finished? Have you done this action? Karma also means action. Now for karma, the word action is not used, duty is used. You follow? Supposing if you say, no, I don't know how to read the Sanskrit to English, Rajkumar. Supposing if you say, Sri Bhagavan is not given in transliteration. Sri Bhagavan is straight away said the Blessed Lord. Supposing if you don't know how to read it, if you don't know the script, if you don't know the script, what you do? Use the script from the transliteration. See, straight away there is a Sanskrit verse. Below that is the transliteration. Sri Bhagavan Vacha Anashritaha, it is said, no? So that breakup is what is given below in Sanskrit to English. So what you do now? Anashritaha is without depending. Karma palam is fruit of action. Karyam, bounden. Karma, duty. Karoti, does. Yaha, who. Saha, he. Sannyasi. Instead of saying detached, the word ascetic is used. Yeah. Sannyasam, we have been studying sannyasi till now as what? Till now we have been studying sannyasi as detachment, block, etc., etc., etc. Where have we heard sannyasi as ascetic? But then it is used as ascetic. Yogi straight away use it. Na niragnihi, without fire, without action. Then these words, niragnihi, akriyaha, all that will be explained in the commentary. And if you want further explanation, refer to the classes. Refer to our weekly classes. Then you get some clarity. And then try to, and then summarize it into a few sentences. What is the average that you all have been keeping here till now? Sentences. Average number ஏதாவது இருக்குதா? No. Okay. Average minutes for answering?
There is
No va? Oh, அதுவும் no va? Okay. Now you studied like this and you have presented it and you have made a summary. Now, so how the summary should be? The summary, try to ensure that the summary doesn't exceed 8-10 sentences. We can't say 8-10 sentences and leave it quietly also. Why? Because our 8-10 sentences will become like Aravindo sentences. Yeah. Aravindo writes Aravindo sentences. I don't know who has read Aravindo. I tell you, fascinating. Comma, colon, semicolon, comma, colon. So, one whole page in that short script, one sentence. You only said, no, sir, 8-10 sentences. So I have written, no, Rajkumar. 8-10 sentences. ஒரு சென்டென்ஸ்ல எவ்வளவு word இருக்கணும்? How much word should go in each and every sentence? 6-8 words. 6-8 words. Are you able to follow? Assume that 10 sentences. அப்படின்னா, it should be 80 words. Therefore, the upper limit. What is the upper limit? The summary should not exceed 100 words. It can be 1 sentence, it can be 2 sentences, it can be 10 sentences. It should not exceed 100 words. That is the time you take. That is the thing that you summarize. Second, when you read with the punctuation marks, comma, etc. Don't just read like, yeah. How you should not read? How you should not read? When you read, the idea is the other need not look into the script. That's how you should read. When you read, the other shouldn't, the need for the other to look into the script should not be there. It means the way you read, the other person should understand. It means what? Appropriate pauses, punctuation marks. That's why the newsreader training is the beautiful way of presenting. Because when you are reading the news, you don't get to read the news, no. So you need to understand from what he or she is reading it out. So it means you need to know how to read it. So make it as a rule in your head, as though nobody else in the group has it on hand. Therefore, you read it out. And when you read, how you should read? That way you should read. Because if you have to read it like that, you need to know the appropriate pauses. It has to be short, crisp, etc. 3. In your personal notes, what questions can come, you anticipate those questions and try to answer it and keep it. But that should be done in your personal notes, not to come in the summary. That is why when someone asks a clarification in the group discussion, you are supposed to pause. You don't instantly jump into answering. First thing that you have to ask, supposing I am presenting. You follow, Anshu? Supposing I am presenting and you are asking me a clarification on my presentation. One kind of clarification is explain it. Another kind of clarification is repeat it. Repeating is not explanation. Repeating because I missed a word. So I ask a person to repeat. Now I ask for explanation. It means you are asking a question. You are asking a question to me. Monitor should interfere and say what? Has anyone thought of this question before, or is it new to the group? If somebody raises the hand and say, I have thought about it, if they say it is new to the group, what you have to do? What do you have to do? You have to take a 2-minute pause. You have to take a 2-minute pause, wait for the group to digest, make a note of their answers. Nobody should give answers from their mind. Nobody should give answers from their memory. They should write down the answer and give. These are all disciplines of group discussion. The ashram, the academy, if they don't write down the answer, it will not be taken up. Say, write it down first and then present. Don't talk from your memory. Group discussion will wind up in 3 weeks. They will say, every week somebody will say, I have some. So group discussion will wind up by default. Are you able to follow? If somebody has thought about it, there's a different approach. Supposing if nobody has thought about it, what should you do? You should pause for 2 minutes. For what? Write down the answers. And when you write down the answers, how many minutes would be given to you to reply? 2 to 3 minutes. That's all. At the end of the 3rd minute, even if the person has only explained halfway, we should be abruptly stopped. Yes, Rajkumar.
Sir, நீங்க சொன்னது if anybody has thought about it னா எனக்கு புரியல சார்.
இப்போ ஒரு clarification கேக்குறேன்னா, that's why I said when you are preparing the summary, one of the things that you should do, one of the homework that you should do is to anticipate questions. Anticipate questions and preparation for that answer. That's why we always ask, has anybody thought anybody thought about this question? புரியுதா நான் சொல்றது? Invariably, 1 or 2 would have thought about it. It is impossible where nobody has thought about it. Why this discipline is very important is because as you are hearing a question, we don't want people to make up some answer in their mind and give. We don't want a spontaneous question. We don't want a spontaneous answer. Are you able to follow? Classroom, it's a spontaneous question. When I come and sit in the classroom, I really don't know what question is going to come. Even when people post their questions before, I will not read those questions before. I open the question only in the classroom only I open. Like Ranjini will post some questions to Venkat or Anshu, to whoever is the moderator of the class on that day. There, we want to be as spontaneous as possible in the classroom. In group discussion, it is exactly the opposite discipline. Nothing should be spontaneous. Everything should be prepared. Are you able to follow? Rajkumar, புரியுதா?
அந்த இப்போ நம்ம அந்த குரூப்ல கேட்கணும்ல சார்,
ஆமா.
தாட் அபவுட் அது என்ன எஃபெக்ட் சார்? அது என்ன, அதனால என்ன?
Because it shows whether the group is doing homework or not. It shows whether the group is doing homework and coming. Most of the time, nobody will do the homework. They'll just come and sit, and from the memory, they will spontaneously come about. You follow, Rajkumar?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, Ranjini.
So if someone says that, yes, I have thought about it.
Yes.
So then what do you do?
If someone says they have thought about it, they will be given the first thing to answer. If someone says they have thought about it, then they will be given the answer. They should answer first, because they have already prepared and come. By the time the others should prepare. You follow what I'm saying?
Then the presenter can answer the question.
Yes. Because if someone says, I have already thought about it, immediately that person should be given the, not immediately, even then we'll take a 2-minute pause. Even then we'll take a 2-minute pause. And then when answers come, that person would be given the first one. யாருக்காவது ஆன்சர் சொல்லணும்னு ஆசையா இருந்தா படிச்சுன்னு வரணும் இந்த மாதிரி. Rajkumar, whoever wants to give a discourse should come prepared. The spontaneous discourses is not acceptable. Come prepared. Are you able to follow? And it doesn't take time. It just takes 1 hour. 1 hour, 1 hour a day. That's all it will take for one verse. It should not take more than that. More than an hour a day. Not every day sitting for this thing. Not every day. 1 hour. Is it okay? Venkat, சொல்லுங்க.
Yes, in that case, if we want to answer, nobody can immediately from their memory. We are not supposed to answer.
Yes, we
We
are not
have to
supposed to
only
answer.
write.
Yeah,
So
write
it may take 3, 4, 5 minutes. It might take in that case.
Yes. That's why somebody should say, I need 1 more minute. In the academic group discussion, sometimes 6-7 minutes it will be quiet. Because somebody says, I need 1 more minute. Somebody will say that. If somebody says, I need more time, we will give. We will not be in a hurry. We will wait for that person to take that time, write it down, at least 2-3 words, write it down, and then present. Correct. 2-3 minutes is the standard time. But then, no, yeah. Suppose most of the times in the group discussion, that's why the visitors will get very frustrated. எதுக்கு இவங்க குவைட்டா இருக்கிறாங்க, கடகடன்னு ஆன்சர் சொல்லிடலாம்ல. Why can't they just go about answering? Why are they simply say one child will say, I need 1 more minute. And the child will be given that minute. And other group discussion discipline is that. சரியா? You follow?
Wonderful points. Because many of these disciplines were not followed at all.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm not, when they said give introduction to chapter 6, in my head, I decided I'm not going to give introduction to chapter 6. I'm going to give group discussion, rules, and stuff. Because there are enough material for chapter 6. There's enough material for chapter 6 in the commentary. There is enough material for chapter 6 in the classes. So I said I'm going to use a verse to explain how it should be done. You follow? Yes, Manohar.
Sir, if somebody says that I have I have anticipated this question. And
Yes.
that guy should actually have written something down,
Yes.
and
Yes.
he should be ready with that thing.
Yeah. Yes. There should be. If
Then
somebody
only he'll
says,
be given a chance.
yeah,
Then only
somebody
he'll be given
says
a
I have
chance to-
anticipated means they should have it in writing. Then only it is anticipated. Then only it is. Then only it is correct. Yes. You follow? Till now, how it should be done? This is how it should be done. Yes, Narayanji. Oh, sorry, Narayanji. 1 second, hold on. Yes.
Because frequently this particular thing keeps coming up in the class, the recordings are not allowed. They are not meant for pointing out as references. So I want you to reiterate whether your recordings, the classes is permissible as a reference,
Yeah.
so that the question doesn't crop up or people don't get the doubt at all, because I use your recordings, your classes
Yes.
for understanding.
The clarification that Ranjit is bringing is, does the weekly classes explanations can be taken as, can be cited as a reference material for the answers? The answer is yes, it can be cited. That's why we are sitting and talking about it for what? Can be cited. But where?
Not able. No, what is the clarification? I'm not able to follow.
Yeah, see, the clarification is, one is Swamiji's commentary book. Another is the weekly classes where we have explained. Clarification is, what we have explained in the weekly classes also can be taken as a reference to summary, or it should be restricted only to the book. It should not be restricted to the book. While in the book, being a printed book, certain elaborations didn't happen. In group discussion, we want those elaborations also to be thought about. Otherwise, in the weekly class, we can just read the book. Why sit and elaborate it? So it can be used. When it is used, we only give a reference to that, so that if anybody wants to go back and cross check, I should be able to refer. That's all. You follow what I'm saying? Like we say paragraph, third paragraph, fourth sentence. We are able to say that. So somebody is able to refer to that. So they know what is before that, they know what is after that. Similarly, if we are referring from the video, because there is no book there, how would you refer?
Minute.
You have to refer the minute.
Minute.
You have to refer correct, perfectly correct. You have to give reference to the minute. In that video, minute 48, 47, it is set. Then it is
Valid.
available for reference. Why we want references to be available? Because we want to scrutinize that. We don't want one person to say, this is what I have understood. When references are given, the intent of giving references is for what? Why do we want to give these references? Because everything should be available for scrutiny. If it has to be available for scrutiny, it should be easily accessible. Like citations, they do know. In the thesis books, why do they do that? They can't simply say, I have taken from 5 books. They can't say that. They have to say the title, the edition, the paragraph, the page, the paragraph, the sentence. That's the effort that we want to. You follow what I'm saying? It can be done. It should be done. Okay. Yeah, Narayanji.
Sir, since your class gives an elaborate explanation of the translation of Swamiji's book,
Yes.
we will be invariably having to listen to every lecture of yours corresponding to the verse.
Yes.
I think then there is no option.
Yeah, that is where I said, even in the previous chapter introduction, wherever necessary, you refer the classes. keep the book as the base reference. And whenever you are reading this transliteration, translations, etc., and you want some explanation, refer to that particular verse. You don't have to necessarily sit and refer to the entire lectures. You follow, Narenji, what I'm saying?
Okay, sir.
You don't have to sit and necessarily refer. You refer the transliteration, the translation, the commentary, you do it. Sometimes you may require explanation. Whenever you about supposing say like chapter 6 is about 47 verses. All the 47 verses you need not refer the weekly classes. You don't need that. You will not be actually needing that. A few verses, a few words may require. That's why in the video itself, we have kept it like indexed, isn't it? Chapter 6, it is indexed by verse number, correct? So you can quickly go to that directly, get it done and come back. It will not be a weekly classes, refer to it like a dictionary. Use the weekly classes videos like a dictionary. You keep the dictionary next to you. You don't keep looking at it all the time, isn't it? Keep it as a dictionary.
Followed.
Why? Because some words I have explained it there, which is not explained in the book, which is not possible. But in the group discussion, we don't want to just repeat what is said in the book. We want to really go deeper into the study, isn't it? Because the first round we have covered already. The first round of basic reading, all of us have did 1 or 2 cycles of e-learning we have done here, and we have gone through this basics one circle already. Now we want to go to now we want to take the study to the next level. There we want to do it in this way.
Okay.
Is it okay, Naranji?
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now,
Actually, the time is up, sir.
yes.
So whatever sir wants to say, please, sir.
Uh,
Kindly.
yes.
Yes,
Because
one last-
your time is precious to us. Please let
Yes.
us hear it.
Yes.
So if somebody is absent, so how many members are allowed to absent themselves to call the class as not on today? So how many people are allowed to absent themselves to say that there is no class today?
Yeah. A clarification. Quorum for classes. What is the quorum for group discussion? There is no quorum, 2 people. There's no quorum like that. Even if there are 2, it will continue. You follow? I don't know how many people are in this group.
Nearly 13 are there.
13, sir.
13
13,
people.
sir.
13 people. Invariably, every other week, 2, 3 will not be able to make up for factual reasons. We are not. Nobody's intentionally skipping. Nobody does it. To that extent, this group is very sincere. We know that. Having said that, the participation, the class, the group discussion session will not be decided by the quorum. Even if there are 2, they should meet. Even if there are 2, they should meet. That is that's a very basic. It's a very basic sanctity that we have to the setup. It's a very basic sanctity, that's all. It's a respect and sanctity, that's all. Again, we all know the sense of proportion. We all know how to make those proportions. We all know that. We don't have to really go into that details. But the thumb rule is
No quorum.
there's no quorum there. It's only even if there is 2. Beginning, he told me, I still remember Swamiji telling me, hey, I started classes. There are so many classes, nobody will even turn up. Nobody will even turn up. He asked me, what will you do in that scenario? He asked me, what will you do in that scenario? I just looked at him because it's a rhetoric question. He's not asking for my answer. I know. I know when he's asking a rhetoric question, when he's actually asking a question. So it's a rhetoric. Okay. See. You sit there, read for that 1 hour 15 minutes and come back. You sit there, read for that 1 hour 15 minutes and come back. And the example that he gave is still so powerful in my head. The example that he gave is, no devotees is coming, will they close the temple? Temple will be opened. People come, people don't come is their problem. It will be kept open. The priest, he gave that example. Some of the examples he gives, people, hey, so what does everybody, even today, they have that thing. When I go and sit next to him, everybody will want to sit around and see what he's telling me, because something he will tell. Even last month I went also, say something he will say, which will be very new, unique, something which is so. Why this kind of examples he doesn't give? Only why this kind of like you will keep the temple open even when there are no devotees coming. You open the temple at that time. You close the temple at that time. That's a sanctity. I said that's what he said. So you should ask Asha. Asha that comes in, you should ask her. Narthagan Sabha. The L-shaped hall. So 6:30 I'll go, I'll take the carpet up, I'll put the that L-shaped hall on the sweep long matanga. They've not even swept to that place. Quickly I will sweep before she comes, get it done, put the carpet, wait. Invariably she will not turn up. Avadam a student. I have to come all the way from Grompet. I have to come for that. Yeah. Narik Shekhar than illa. Yeah, I can't forget that man, Narik Shekhar. Yeah. Can't forget that man, Narik Shekhar. For that one person who's not going to come, I have to walk all the way and come. I will walk and come. That's the sanctity that we give. You follow? That's the sanctity that we give. She won't even remember. She won't even remember. So beautiful it is. After a few years, she told, oh, you, sir, so many times, I'm very sorry. I didn't even strike how tamasic I was. I didn't even realize that. And then slowly, the group started coming. At one point in time, everything was set. At one point in time, everything was set. So in the same Narthagan Sabha, I remember just before COVID, when we wound up, before I go, everything will be set. Before I go, everything will be set. It grow, but then whether irrespective of what it is, there is a sanctity. There is a sanctity to it. That sanctity is like how we give to the temple. Okay. One more with Narayanji and then we'll conclude. Yes, Narayanji.
Sir, if somebody misses a class and the verse is discussed, do we
Yes.
accommodate that person who has missed in the next class, or we should not?
No. We should accommodate. We should accommodate that person in the next class. Yes. Supposing if everybody has presented and the person didn't present and the group had moved on, when the person comes back, that person must be given an opportunity to present the 2-3 together. That opportunity must be given, because it's not like, oh, this week you didn't come, you can't present. It's not like that.
So if in chapter 6 we have moved to third verse and somebody from the previous chapter has to present the last verse and still they can present the last verse.
Yes.
Of the previous chapter.
Yes. Ranjani is expanding on Narayanji's clarification and she is asking, supposing we have come to chapter 6, if somebody is still on chapter 5, last verse, what do we do? That person will be given a chance. Because we are not like, we all have read the Gita multiple times now. So we know we can easily go backwards and we can easily go backwards and forwards. When the group started e-learning first, I said it's not allowed. When the group did e-learning, and we used to have e-learning group discussions. I don't know. I think we used to have in Ganesh's office here, and then we used to have in some other office. And then we used to have another discussion right next to the toilet. Oh God, I tell you, right next to that, it used to be there. So funny to love. There is no other place. Now, what do we do? There's no other place. We couldn't even get a place. What do we do? So there we were very strict. Why? Because we want everybody to read together and come. Now here, because we have already covered that, we can take the flexibility of moving backwards and forwards. And invariably, the assumption is everybody will be lagging only 2-3 verses behind or forward. Like it won't, like it will never be like 15-20 verses backward. Supposing if it is like 15-20 verses backward and all, no. That is supposing for whatever reasons a person can't come for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, and the group has moved on with 10 verses. That's over. That is proportion, sense of proportion. 2 verses, 2-3 verses here and there, we can accommodate. You follow? Anything else? ஏன்னா இது வந்து சாப்டர் 6க்கு இன்ட்ரோடக்ஷன்லாம் கிடையாது, குரூப் டிஸ்கஷன் கண்டக்ட் தான். எஸ் வெங்கட்.
Yes, normally the classes are not very frequently cancelled, very occasionally only.
Yes.
But in a group of about 10-12,
Yes.
at least 50%, 40%, maybe 40% are silent participants and 60% are active participants.
Correct.
But if the active participants are absent,
Yes. All the silent participants will come, they will do meditation and go back. All the silent participants will come, sit and do
Meditation.
Aham Brahmasmi, I am Atma Brahma meditation, and they can go back. But it will happen. You are right, I know. Always it will be like that. ஆசிரமில் குரூப் டிஸ்கஷன் ஆரம்பிச்ச புதுசுல கிருஷ்ணன் மட்டும்தான் ஆன்சர் பண்ணுவார். கிருஷ்ணன் will answer, அங்க nobody else will. அதுவும் by the time Krishnan finishes the answer, it will be 45 minutes. And then by the time Angajan contradicts Krishnan and picks up the fight and he gives an answer, another 30 minutes. Group discussion is over. How long to continue like this? So few months later, he said, no, it cannot continue like this. Bring some discipline and put an end to that 2-3 people dominating. Oh, such a furor it was. How can you put restrictions like that? This is not accepted here. Everybody has their freedom. This, and I said, yeah, correct. Everybody has their freedom, but somebody will decide the extent of freedom. It was like refined, and it came to where it is so organized now. It happens. You follow? Supposing you are right, there are people who will not talk, who will not present, who will not do anything. What will they do in that time? Somebody will be there. They will sit quietly, maybe read a book or chant or do meditation and go back. But it will be on. Okay? Yeah. Manchugongo, chapter 6, I didn't say anything.
Sir.
Because I was not intending to say anything about chapter 6.
Thank you, sir.